from Detroit to the nations. You are listening to the world's #1 Christian station, Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions.
What's it all about? Have you tried to understand what it means to live? Have you really tried searching your life and you'll never know how to live in life's says until you find Jesus in your life.
God bless you. God bless you today. And this is the day the Lord has made. What a joy it is to share with you today. This is Bishop Andre Woods, and we praise God for the blessed opportunity to come your way one more time with the program, The Gospel Connection. And listen, I want you to call your friends, call your neighbors, let everybody know we're on the air today. And what a blessed day it is. And we want to thank all of you for sharing with us every Tuesday morning at this hour, the 10 a.m. hour, as we share the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we certainly try to bring to you some of Detroit's finest in gospel music. I want to say God bless you to all of our musical family, not only here in the city of Detroit, but across the country and around the world. We just bless all of you for your wonderful support and your prayers and all of the wonderful fellowships that we've been able to have across the years. I've been so excited the last couple of weeks, in the last month or so. It's been like a family reunion across the country as we have been able to travel and to share in many of the events that are going on in our wonderful state of Michigan and in other states when it comes to the perpetuation and the preservation of quality gospel music. We want to thank all of our friends in the Chicago area, those in St. Louis, and certainly those in Memphis and Texas, and all of our friends in Ohio. Listen, we just bless God for the wonderful connection that we have and the networking of the kingdom. We certainly give God praise for all that he has done, all he's doing and going to do. Listen, I want you right now to get your calendars. I got some information. We want you to save the dates for some things that are coming up. The Fellowship of Music and Arts. We're sponsoring some wonderful things coming up as we close this year of 2015 and then going into 2016. We want you to be a part, and we want you to be abreast of all that's going to be taking place. And we certainly want you to be a part of what we're going to be doing. And listen, I want you to save Saturday, November the 14th. That's a Saturday, and we're going to give you more information conclusively on next week. But I want you to write that down, save that date. That's November the 14th, as we come together. We're going to be sponsoring what is called a Musicians Summit. And if you've never attended a Musicians Summit, we had one last year, but let me give you some basic details of what we're going to be doing at the Musicians Summit. And now we want you to know that it don't only include musicians, but those of you who are singers, it's musicians and singers, and those of you that are interested in gospel music or the music industry overall. We're going to have a special time of workshop where we're going to be discussing the music industry, the ins and the outs of it, and we're going to talk about the business side, and we're going to talk about how writers can protect themselves and how you can learn about publishing and learn about recording and learn about the music industry, how royalties work, and how you can benefit as a writer or musician that can be for hire for different events and programming that's not only in gospel music, but some civic music, classical music, jazz, or whatever your particular forte might be. There is so much available to musicians and singers that we don't know about, and that's what the Bible says. We perish for a lack of knowledge. And I've been so blessed to be connected with the Detroit Federation of Musicians for some years, and I'm telling you, the benefits are just innumerable. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that you can learn and you can find out just by being a member. We get newsletters, we get information that comes in the mail that informs us of what's going on and how you can participate. They also have a new feature that you're going to learn about when you come on November the 14th. It's a feature where if you are a member, you'll be able to be highlighted in their newsletter, where you can give them your email, your website address, and all of that information on you personally, so that you can be in the loop, where if a job will come up or somebody needs a musician, your name and number will certainly be flagged, and you might be able to do studio sessions and sit in as a musician. And it's just wonderful. I've had that privilege so many times, and then there's nothing like getting paid union scale for your job or for the work or the hours that you put in. And so it's a wonderful feature. And then there are other things, those musicians who are independent contractors. I mean, they have features like life insurance policies that are available to you at discounts, and your auto insurance and your homeowner's insurance and all the other things that you can get by being a member of the Detroit Federation of Musicians. And it's not expensive. Listen, we spend more money on other things. Why not invest in yourself? And it's only about $150 a year annually, but the membership pays for itself, I mean, over and over and over again, because of all of the benefits that you will gain as being a part of the Detroit Federation of Musicians. And certainly that links you up also. You get the information, what's going on around the country and around the world when it comes to the music industry. And you have a jump on everything and everybody else, because you get it first and hot off the press, right from your mailbox. They mail you a newsletter and you get a magazine on the music business. So it is beneficial, and I highly recommend it. I'm not talking about something I heard. I'm talking about something I personally experienced myself. I am a member myself, and I suggest, if you're listening, if you're a musician or you're a singer, and you want to join the Federation of Musicians, I encourage you to do so. Just go to your computer or your iPhone or whatever, and just Google Detroit Federation of Musicians, and they will take you to their website, give you all the numbers, and you can call and get the information you need, and they will let you know all you need to do. And I encourage you to do that even today if you have time to do it. So God bless you on that. But listen, I want to say God bless you to our friends in Chicago today. Certainly the Edwin Hawkins Music and Arts, as they're meeting for their board meeting, getting ready for 2016. I want to say God bless you to Edwin Hawkins and to our Sister Sherry Carwell, and all of our friends from Detroit that is a part of that general planning board as they meet this week. And we're looking forward to sharing with Dr. Edwin Hawkins. He's going to be one of our guests real soon. So as they approach what they're doing, and they're bringing their convention to Chicago, that's another date. We want you in the month of June, want you to write that down and remember that. The month of June 2016, you can start planning now, because all roads are going to lead to Chicago, Illinois, for the Hawkins Music and Arts Seminar. And you're talking about a well-planned seminar where we got some of the nation's and the world's finest musicians and singers are going to be gathering there in Chicago next year. So all of this is planned, so you can plan your budget, you can plan your vacation time if you have to take off work or whatever you need to do. If you love gospel music, there are some don't miss projects and programming that you need to personally experience, so you don't have to hear about it, but you'll be there on point for yourself to see and to hear and to experience not only the teaching and the training, but the artistry and the music is just phenomenal. You can go and come back with music to teach your church choirs and your community choirs, and musicians can go and sit with other musicians and network. And listen, you won't go wrong planning to attend the Hawkins Music and Arts annual convention that's going to be in 2016 in the city of Chicago, Illinois. And we'll have more information on that. As I said, we're planning even before hopefully the year is out to have Dr. Hawkins as one of our guests, and then to get more information from those who are locally connected with the Hawkins and Music and Arts Seminar and Fellowship. We're going to talk about that and have them on as guests. And so it's going to be a wonderful time of sharing. And then let me give shout out to my dear friend, Brother Walter Scrutchins in the city of Akron, Ohio, who is the chairperson of the men in the Gospel Music Workshop of America. I want to say God bless you to him and my brother Raymond Hinton, in Akron, Ohio, they're doing a phenomenal job with the men. Now, those of you who are writers and those of you who want to get your music out, Walter Scrutchins, I'm going to have him on air because we're going to talk about how you who are writers can submit your song to be considered to be highlighted and showcased at the Gospel Music Workshop of America for the male course. I mean, they do some wonderful music. Every year there's an opportunity for writers to submit songs, and their songs would be considered for being picked to be shared with the choir on a national level, because they do an annual men's concert at the Gospel Music Workshop of America. And the songs that are selected out of the pool that they receive from different writers all over the country, once they make their selection, and if you're the one that submit a song and your song is chosen, of course, they will notify you and your song will be featured and highlighted at the convention. The other feature is that is wonderful, that you'll be able to take your music there, and you'll be able, not only just that song that is going to be shared with a particular group like the male course, but then there are other opportunities. If you have other songs, you can go to the new music class and present your song, and you can sell your sheet music. There are all kind of benefits on the spot that you can take advantage of at the Gospel Music Workshop of America and their annual conventions. Now, we'll be talking about all that more. That's in the month of July, and so of 2016. So you can start planning now, and they're in the process. And that's why I'm telling you all this now, because they're in the process of receiving material and songs. And so we'll have the websites and the information. But I want to give you a jump and a head start. Get to writing, start writing. Maybe you'll be inspired today or tomorrow to write a new song. And maybe you got some stuff sitting on the shelf. You got some old tapes and you got some songs you haven't finished. Get up and pray and ask God for some inspiration now so you can get those songs out. And then you never know. One of those songs might end up in the right hands, and you get recorded, and then bam, the rest is history, and you're on your way. But don't sit on your gift. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. You got to start somewhere. So I want you to get a jump. I want our Detroit writers, especially, and those of you around the country as well. We want to include you, but I'm pushing my Detroit boys and Detroit girls, women and men, those of you that write. And you don't have to be a musician to be a part of this. If you just write lyrics and you got a collaboration, somebody do the music, whatever y'all need to do it. Get ready now and get your songs all finished. And then, of course, we want you to get them manuscripted. We want you to get them so they'll be on paper. That is one of the greatest features that is happening now more than ever before, because we got a lot of music written by some great songwriters, but it's not down. It have not been recorded and it have not been put on sheet music. But listen, the greatest thing you can do to help yourself nowadays is to get your music, put on sheet music, get somebody to script it for you, transcribe it, and get it out, get it printed, get your publishing company, and get that out. Start your own publishing company. Do what you got to do, but I want you to know it is a benefit that you won't go wrong. Listen, this is royalty time, and I thank God I got a testimony about that. Royalty time for writers all across the country. I am a personal member of the CSAC Writers Affiliation network, and that union of writers, CSAC, not only covers gospel, but they cover classical and jazz and R&B and all that, but they're all wow. They are a wonderful, I highly recommend. There are many writers who are part of BMNI and ASCAP, and but listen, I personally belong to CSAC, SESAC. And listen, you go on the website, look them up, log on there, and see what they have to offer. And if you got songs, if you're not a part of a union, you need to have writers affiliation, so that if at any point in time in your writing career, one of your songs is recorded, you'll be protected and you can get your royalties proper. I mean, they cover you and they make sure that you are protected wherever your song. You can't monitor this on your own. You can't listen to radio stations across the country. You don't have that wherewithal. Matter of fact, you can't even do that at home. You never know when your song is being played, where it's being played, how many times it's being played, and how long it's being played. So it's a benefit that you need, is to have an organization that will censor and also be out there to monitor the airwaves to make sure radio stations are logging in and reporting properly according to the FCC, so that you as a writer, listen, you as a writer will be properly compensated for your work. And oh, what a blessing it is. And I'm just telling you, and you, if you get involved in this and you get, the Lord bless you to have something out there that's recorded by an artist, or even your own particular personal project, you need to have it registered. You need to go through, and we're going to talk about that too at our seminar on November 14th. And that's why I'm pushing this. I'm going to be putting it on Facebook and everywhere else, because I think too many of you who are writers and artists get all excited about seeing yourself on a cover, and you get all excited about hearing yourself on the radio, and you get, and that's beautiful, that's wonderful. I was there too a long time ago. Got excited. Oh, they're gonna do my song. They're gonna record my song. So and so gonna sing my song, and oh, I'm gonna be out there nationally. They're gonna play it on the radio. Oh, first time I heard one of my songs on the radio, I was jumping up and shouting. But then I was also prepared because I had some wonderful teachers, and like I said, being a part of the Detroit Federation of Musicians, and then having somebody to take me by the hand to teach me the business side of music. And I know you want to praise the Lord. I know, listen, I know you love the Lord and you're doing it for ministry's sake. Well, you need some money to do ministry. Let me say that again. You need money to do ministry. When you talk about the record business, when you talk about recording, you're talking about money. You're talking about somebody got to spend some money, because I think when you went to the studio to do your project, I think they charged you. Now, I don't know, maybe you got a hookup that you need to tell me about, but I think they charged you. That engineer has to be paid. You got to buy the tapes. You got to buy, well, we on Pro Tools and all this new stuff now, but somebody got to pay for the studio time. Somebody got to pay for the engineer's time. Somebody got to pay. Well, first of all, let's jump back. Somebody got to have a studio that's paid for, or all the instrumentation, the board, and everything that goes in, the instruments in there, the piano, the organ, and all the synthesizer, and all the stuff that we use in the studio. You know, you just can't just pray that up. You got to pay for it. after you pray, then you got to have some money to have all this done. Then it's got to be mastered. Then it's got to be put on CD. It's got to go and be packaged, and it's got to be labeled. All that. Somebody got to do the artwork. You got to have a photographer to take your picture. All that's got to be paid for. Then you send it to the company, and then they package it and wrap it and all that. You got to pay for all of that. Then it's got to be shipped to you or shipped to the store. Then you got to do promotion. You got to do distribution. You got to pay for all of that. Everything, when you talk about the music industry, you're talking about investment of money, and you're talking about if you do it right, there's a healthy return. And so I'm trying to talk to you writers, and I've seen a lot of artists, and I get a lot of calls. I've got some calls recently, and I just want to throw it out there. Don't get upset with writers because they may not jump at the opportunity to just do a project. Doing a project nowadays is not exciting anymore because everybody's going in their basement or on their computer doing, pushing out a CD. But here is the thing, what are you going to do with it, and where are you going to place it? How is it going to be distributed? And how can a writer who's not perhaps a singer or the artist that they're writing for, how can they up the road benefit from investing in your project because they are writing and then they are giving you their material and they're writing for you, but there's got to be something in place. So don't get upset when a musician or a songwriter asks you, where is my song going? Who's going to handle my song? Under what label is my song going on to? And if when they ask that, you got to be ready to answer the question, well, I'm with so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. You got to have your ducks in a row, as the old folks say. And you got to have that information available because if that company or that record label that you are with is not registered, with the FCC and all of the regulations that they got to follow, and then they don't affiliate and have their publishing company and their writers agreements and their publishing agreements intact where you can sign and make sure that you're covered. So if, like myself, I'm a member of CSAC, so when a record company approach me or artists approach me and they want me to do a song, I have to make sure that when my song is on their project, that if my song is played on the radio, CSAC can track that. They cannot track something that has not been registered. And so you do yourself a service to do your research and help the artist that you're going to be writing for and help them get that together, because not only is there performance royalties, there are mechanical royalties that are involved. That means the sale of your CD. If it don't have a barcode on it, y'all just selling CDs out your trunk. Ain't nobody going to get that money but somebody else or whoever's selling it. So I get a percentage, and every writer ought to get their proper percentage for performance royalties and also mechanical royalties. And if you are the producer, then you ought to get a percentage of royalties off of every CD that is sold. So listen, this is no plaything. Your gift, if it's going to make room for you, then you got to get your business together. If you're going to be in this business, then you need to know the business so that you won't be taken. So I hear so many horror stories and about writers who put songs out and never got paid a dime. I mean, it happens in R&B when you go see some of the historical movies like Cadillac, and they talk about Stax Records, and they talk about Cadillac Records, or some of these companies, even Motown and others. Even in the gospel arena, there's been situations where writers have put out songs, but they didn't have any publishing. They weren't protected. They didn't have a writer's agreement. And listen, you need to have your business fixed so that you can be protected and you can be properly compensated for your work. God did not give you that song. God did not inspire you the way he did for you to write something that's blessing the world and then you not be blessed by it yourself. So Come on, saints. Let's make a step. Let's make this move and come to another level in our thinking and in our preparation. I had an old preacher used to tell me all the time that preparation precedes the blessing. You got to prepare yourself and be ready to get out there, because listen, it's a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to the business side, and you got to be business savvy, and you got to match wits with these rascals out here who will try to take you to the cleaners. If you don't know what you're doing, they're going to know that you don't know, and then if you're not careful, you can sign your life away and don't even know you did it, and then you have no way to come back and recover. So November 14th, the Musicians Summit, we're going to cover a lot of these topics and things that you're going to need to help you to become better equipped and better prepared so that you can get out there in the music industry and let the Lord bless you as you are a blessing to the world. Listen, we're going to more music now, and I'm going to come back and share some more information. Call your friends and let them know we're on the air. Bishop Andre Woods, this is the Gospel Connection.
Now if you need a blessing, a blessing from the Lord,
and if you need
whatever the problem, just let the Lord take control. For the Lord is standing, He's ready to bless your soul. For He's ready, He's willing, He's able, He is waiting. For the Lord wants to bless your soul. Now if you need a blessing,
Oh, man.
a blessing from the Lord,
And if you need a way made for you, God is standing by.
now whatever the problem, great or small, just let the Lord take control.
The Lord is standing. He's ready to bless you. He's ready, willing, able. He is waiting. For the Lord wants
He's waiting. Bless your soul.
Well, for those of you who are looking for God to do something special for you this day, that song simply says He's ready, willing, and able to bless your soul. Again, you're listening to the Gospel Connection. I'm your host, Bishop Andre Woods, and we're here on the greatest network in the world. That is the Worship Center Radio Network. And certainly we bless God for the privilege to come your way as we share good quality gospel music. Now, a lot of folk call me, they want to try to say, well, y'all only play Detroit music. Well, yeah, I'm from Detroit, and what we're trying to do is one of my personal aims is to hopefully try to help promote our local artists who otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity. And let me while I'm talking about the music business, let me help you understand something for those of you who have not taken the time to do the research and to really know how this thing works. And for those of us who are veterans and been in this business for a little while, you know, we thank God for all of the wonderful outlets and the venues that are out there that play and promote gospel music. We're talking about now we've got like we have here, internet radio, which is a new phenomenon, and we thank God for it. But you know, your basic radio stations, your AM, FM, and then you have cable television, access cable, and you got some programming out there, special programming like special gospel music shows, and then, like I said, there are a number of gospel music programming where they feature specifically gospel music videos and all that kind of stuff. You have all that on cable television, on access channels, the Word Network and Impact Network, and then there are other Inspirational Network and other networks. Now we got Bravo TV, and then we got TV One, and then, like I said, we got network radio stations. But what you don't understand, their time for programming outside of church programming, as church broadcasts and other broadcasts, people that buy time, then there's only so much time, just like the radio stations here locally in our city. You know, you got FM radio and AM radio, but you must understand when you listen to those radio stations, you know, they have what is called a traffic department in their radio stations, and they control what is played over the air. They got somebody that audition or listen to your music. When you send it in to a radio station, you send your promotional package in. Trust me, they get thousands of promotional packages probably daily, you know, and there's a group or there's a person that goes through that music and they decide. But here is the catch. If you're not already a nationally known artist, you know, like some of the artists we know, I won't start calling names, but your reputation has to precede you, and they keep pumping out new CDs and new videos. So what they do, they put the record companies that they're with, got to jump on your company. If you're in it with an independent company, they're not as large, they're not as well known, they don't have the track record or the reputation, and then you got artists competing for prime spot programming. That means drive time radio, early morning radio, and then early evening radio, and some late night programming that people are available to hear. And so when you go to the radio station and you need to ask them, that you need to find out their demographics, you need to find out their ratings, you need to find out who is their target audience, what age group they target. But there's a whole lot involved that what goes on behind the scenes. So there's more to it than just taking a radio station, your CD, and hoping that they play it. If they play it one time, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Even if they play it, you need your 2 cents to 5 cents every time they play it. You don't need to be playing around with this, because it's important to your future as a writer. So, listen, November 14th, we're going to be talking about some very important issues that I believe is going to help revolutionize your thinking, your life, and you're going to do better. And we do better when we know better. So those of you that don't know, now that you're hearing a little bit of it and just getting bits and pieces, we want you to be there so you can get the whole story, so that when you decide to go out and do your project and all that, because I see on Facebook daily, and sometimes I just shake my head. You got a lot of artists. Everybody got a choir now. Everybody got a group. Everybody doing solo projects. That's fine. I applaud every step that these artists are taking. But somebody got to write that music. Somebody got to play that music. Somebody's got to produce that music. Somebody's got to put that whole package together to make it make sense and make it marketable out there in today's market, because now radio stations are looking for a certain sound. You got to have a certain quality in your recording, and you got to know what those specs are. So you can't be fooling around, just in your basement and trying to think you got a project. No, it's got to be properly produced. It's got to have quality sound. It's got to meet all of the specs that they're looking for when you're talking about being played over the airways. Because if a radio station puts some stuff on there that is not quality or is not, really to standard, then, of course, y'all know what y'all do. Y'all going to turn the station. Y'all going to turn them off and go to the next station that's playing quality music, and they're playing your best artists and all that kind of stuff. So that's why a lot of times when you hear some stations, you hear rotation, you hear almost within an hour or two of each other, you hearing some of the same stuff over and over and over and over. That's called promotion. That's what the record company is pushing for. When they distribute their artists to these stations across the country and even over the world, around the world, they're trying to get heavy rotation. And you need your song. Listen, in order to get paid, you need your song in that rotation. So again, let me go back to what I alluded to earlier and said every quarter of the year, 4 times a year, we as writers, we receive our royalty statements of whatever has been taking place or what are the activity that's been done between then this last quarter. Let me say June to September. That quarter right there, when I went to my mailbox yesterday, there was a check there from CSAC for the activity of my songs being played over the course of that particular period. Now, I just got a check yesterday, and that took us to September. Now, starting October 1st, they're going to take us to December 31st. So that means for New Year's, on the 2016 come in around the 2nd or the 3rd of January, I'll get another check, and then it keeps going on, the January to March. It happens 4 times a year, and you need to be in that loop, my brother. You need to be in that loop, my sister. You're writing songs. You got quality music. You just need to take care of your business and watch the Lord bless you for doing what you need to do. And so on November 14th, we're going to be covering all of these aspects of the music business so that you can get this information and then you can prepare yourself and you can protect yourself. I want you to wear that word today like never before. You need to be protected. You need to protect your songs from those pirating music, and you need to protect your song from publishing companies that will snatch your song, and you won't even know that they got their name on your song because you haven't seen it. You don't have the wherewithal to do the research. That's why you need to belong to BMI, ASCAP, or CSAC like I am, so that you can be protected. I'm hope I'm helping somebody that can get this information out and take advantage of it, because it's going to be a blessing to you. Listen, we're going to another song right now, and then I'm going to come back. We'll be almost closing the broadcast today, but I'm excited to share with you what's going on in the music industry, and I pray you're going to be blessed. Share this music with you. God bless you. Well, that's the one and only Don Byers on lead. Bishop Andre Woods and Chosen. That song is going to be all right. Well, we've been sharing information, of course. This is the Gospel Connection. I'm your host, Bishop Andre Woods. We've been sharing information about the music industry. And again, to save the date for the Fellowship of Music and Arts Musicians and Singers Summit that's going to be taking place here in the city of Detroit, and we want you to be a part of that. It's going to be an educational, wonderful time, information that you just can't get anywhere else the way we're going to present it. And you want to be a part of this, and certainly everyone is welcome, singers, musicians, or whoever you are, songwriters, or whatever your aspirations in gospel music or music, period, it might be. You don't want to miss this day, and it's going to be open to the public, and we'll bring you more information on that and the details. We're going to have Brother Greg Pearson, who's actually the spearheading this project. He's with the Inner Court group and has his own studio and record label and all that. Elder Herman Harris, Majestic Records, and many of our board members who are versed in this. And we're going to have very special guests to come in to share about the music industry and the ins and outs of it. So you will do yourself a service to be a part and to come and spend a couple of hours and get some information that's going to propel you to the next level in your music ministry. And you do need that. Listen, information is important. I tell folk all the time, you get the information that brings good revelation so it can cause transformation. It can change your life forever, and you'll be glad that you did. You'll be saying, what took me so long to get this and to make this step? Well, listen, I have enjoyed sharing with you, and y'all forgive me, but we've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of moving around lately while the weather's good. So as we move around, we have the privilege to call in. Thank God for this wonderful technology. Thank you, Brother Juan Johnson in the studio, and to all of our family there at Worship Center Radio Network. We're planning to try to get back live in the studio on next week, so y'all pray for us. We got a lot going on, and we're just trying to make it all happen. And the Lord is so good. Then I'm going to have my little testimony when I get there live, so I can share some things with you, what the Lord has done. And even since being a part of the Worship Center Radio Network and all the wonderful calls that we get. But go to YouTube later on and go to Facebook. If those of you that need to hear this again and get that information, go to those venues, and then you'll be able to hear this program again later on and pass it on. You'll be blessed. Well, this is Bishop Andre Woods saying, I love all of you with the love of Christ. Until next week, this time at 10 a.m. next Tuesday, join me here for the Gospel Connection. God bless you. Love you in Jesus' name.
Jesus will bring you joy.
Hi, my name is Bishop Andre Woods, and you're listening to the Worship Center Radio, the platform of champions, Detroit's #1 for the gospel.